Hello folks, Sam from the farm again. First cold snap of the year, and I want to get outside, check what these guys' temperatures were, what the large Aldabras, the baby Aldabras, I want to check what their temperatures actually were for this first cold snap. Now, it didn't get down that low, so this is not something that we weren't prepared for. And I wanted to see how the animals reacted, who went inside their huts, what temperatures, what their body temperatures were for the adults here, as well as the baby Aldabras. Just a quick video here. This is actually the first cold day we had of the year out here, and I wanted to measure. Here we go. This is 53, and Cecil here is shell temperature 51. So 53 and 51. But I'm going to measure inside his shell, just right here. 66 degrees. That's his actual body temperature. The other one, the first measurement is the shell temperature. Look at here. This is burning 70. So that's their actual body temperature. Over here we have Tank. Measure his outside shell temperature. 58. Check out, he's got that little foaming in his eyes. When Aldabras get cold, you get that little foaming in their eyes. They do it for different reasons. Typically, you only see this in Galapagos. But when it's cold and they're out, they didn't go in their huts. Hey, what are you doing, buddy? Just want to get a temperature here. Okay, 72. So, Tank is nice and warm on the inside. Hey, just out of curiosity, see what it feels like. Yeah, you can feel he's warm in there. And this is cold. You can feel here it's cold. Well, they didn't go in their hut. They had their hut available. And we weren't really getting down that far in temperature. So we did not force them inside their huts. Hey, here's Oliver. Let me get a reading from him. Let's start off the winter with these preliminary readings. Shell 53. And 66 on the inside. And he's sitting in the water. So, oh yeah. Yeah, I saw Adolf did go in his house last night. So, he went in his house. I seen him come out this morning, and you see them just laying there in the sun. There's another interesting out there. Something else interesting here I want to show you. Ugh. Check out the female. You know why she's turned around like that? Because she's facing her shell towards the sun. That's the best way for them to heat up, because that is those tissues are closer to the back of the shell. The kidneys are back there, so a lot of circulation in the back of the shell, as opposed here in the front. We have all of the air space. You have the lungs, and so hey, now look, we got a little traffic jam. This is typical. Hey, I want to come out too. The heat is not actually on in their hut. Yeah, like I said, the first day of the year, first cold snap. What is it, November 6th or something? Or 9th is Tuesday, I know that. Good morning, folks. Sam from Florida Iguana again. Checking out this first cold day of the year. Checking out some of the upgrades and some of the new things we've done here in one of the Aldabra rooms. And we're checking shell temperature here today. So this fella was he's 59 degrees shell temperature, 58 degrees, and 57 degrees. So those guys, they stayed out. They didn't go inside the heated hut. We didn't force them inside, like I said. This was the first cold day we've had of the year, November 5th, I think it is. Well, we've done some testing, and Got this hut here. You can see the two lights on in the front. That lets us know the heating elements are on. I used to use lights. You know, the lights aren't the best thing, but at least I could tell the heaters are on. When I use your ceramic heat lamps devices, they work real well. They last so much longer, but the problem is you don't really know if it's gone out or not. So what I've done is I've used a little current indicator here, and that lets me know that those ceramic heat lamps are working. So I wanted to measure the temperature of what we got in here. Fortunately, we have a couple of subjects here in the house here. He is actually 100 degrees. Here, this fella is 90 degrees. 98. So, just out of interest, what is it on the slate? 117, right under 119, right under that heat lamp. So, these are 150 watt lamps, ceramic heaters, like I said. And by the way, this is the little device we have here for those LEDs right there. Use a little current indicator that lets me know those lamps are working. Okay, just go back and check that. Again, that's 92. As high as a 92, 100 on the edge. That's part of that is because we didn't close the doors, because I didn't want to close the doors. Again, you know, these are new huts, so you know, I want to consider, I don't want to lock them in there and then have them get too hot. I know it wasn't getting that cold, but we got to work out different wattages for these lamps, and that way we know when we actually close the door in there that they'll be safe. Of course, we'll come out and check them and everything throughout the night, make sure they're safe. Plus, these houses are actually watched with security cameras, and I'm going to extend my temperature sensor so I can measure the temperature on my cell phone, so I actually know what temperature it is inside the house. Now, the way all of that works is out here, that circuit is tied into one of these thermostats. I love these things. They're not that expensive, and you can control a lot of amperage. There's over 1,200 watt ceramic heaters. They're probably about an amp a piece. So, you know, I'm pulling on that circuit. You know, we're pulling 12, 13 amps. So we're really at the limit of that circuit. Anyway, I'm doing this video also because, you know, I like to document things, how things are going, what it looks like in the morning, what the animals are doing in the morning. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to post this. Oh, that little tiny one there. Huh. Well, I guess that's it from the Aldabra room. First cold day of the year. Okay, folks, that's it. This was the first cold day of the year I was mentioning earlier, and we only got down to about 58 degrees here. Wanted to see, you know, how the animals were working with their new huts and what some of their shell temperatures, internal and external, were. I hope that video is a help to some folks. I'm going to continue following it along for the winter as things develop and as we deal with iguanas and tortoises both in this colder climate, which is nothing I know what some of you folks really go through. So this is it from my perspective. Take care, everybody.